R.I.P. Rest in peace, Michael James McLean. That is yours, relentless. Kristen, Emery, and I celebrated New Year's Eve here in Montabello, Quebec, Canada. Montabello is the largest log cabin in the world. And I'll take you down here in the lobby as I walk out for my morning road work. We came here before we head south to Naples for the winter. We came here for all the snow sports, the skating, the snowshoeing, all of the stuff. The only problem is here in Quebec, we don't have any snow. There's no snow, so we're making the best of it. Good morning. What an incredibly magical place. My brother got married here at Montabello years ago. My parents celebrated their 60th anniversary, wedding anniversary here a few years ago. This is a special place for our family. Largest log cabin in the world. And as you can see here behind me, if you can see down, a spectacular fireplace. There's 6 extra fireplaces as part of that massive chimney. Montabello, Quebec. I'll take you downstairs. It's all, notice there's no televisions. Do you notice that up here on the top, there's 4 rings, and all along here are chairs and chessboards, checkerboards, old school everything. This is a Fairmont property. Fairmont is one of the largest hotel and resort owners in North America. And as you can see, I don't use the elevators. Anything under 7 floors, I don't use. That's a personal rule, by the way. That's one of my fitness rules. I don't care if I'm going to see my parents at their apartment. I don't care if I'm at a hotel. I don't care if I'm at a sporting arena. Anything under 7 floors. And I am going to be using the stairs. So as you can see, just an amazing place. We had a live band on New Year's Eve, and Krista and I did something we hardly ever get the opportunity to do, which is enjoy live music and dance all night. So we stayed up till 12:30 a.m., which is very rare for yours crotchety. And there's the last of the heat, and I am off. So it was an amazing night. Emery went to bed early, of course, and we danced. And speaking of R.I.P., this is the second New Year's and New Year's Eve and Christmas season. This is actually the third that I have been completely sober, no alcohol at all. And that's one of the reasons that I'm out here walking so early in the day. On most New Year's days, I would be licking my wounds until 10 or 11 in the morning and not getting off to the start that I had promised myself. So far today, I've been able to study and read, to do some copywriting. I took Emery down to the morning breakfast. I'm going to hit the gym for about 45 minutes later this morning, and I'm hitting the ground with momentum. I talked in a couple videos ago about a BadAzz champions, a BadAzz Kings New Year started on December 27th. So because I started all my training and all my resolutions, whatever you want to call them, 6-7 days ago. I've got great momentum. I feel great today. I have to give a tip of the hat to my business partner, Marc-Andre LeBlanc. A tip of the hat to my badass bitch in charge, Leanne Brennan. And a tip of the hat to my 2 champion mastermind members that took on the challenge, our 500 Hindu squat challenge. We did that a couple days ago on New Year's Eve. We rang in the new year. Where am I gonna walk? I think I'm just gonna walk down through here. We'll see where this takes me. We rang in the new year doing 500 Hindu squats. Admittedly, I had, when I started training 90 days ago for this challenge, I just threw it out there without thinking. And Bill Gaw and Paul Nolte said, hell yeah, we'll do it. And Leanne and Mark said, hell yeah, we'll do it. And without even thinking, I'm like, I can only probably do 25 Hindu squats. Well, I was wrong. I could only do 15. So talk about R.I.P, where you literally, that person, every day you kill off the person you were before. That 500 Hindu squat challenge was a test of self-discipline. It was a test of belief. It was a test of pain leaving the body. I mean, but I was only able to do 25 squats and then 35 and 45. I said to myself several days when I was training, what the hell am I doing? How am I ever going to do 100 Hindu squats? And then when I gradually worked my way up to 100 Hindu squats, I would say to myself on occasion, what the hell have I got myself into? How am I? I can't even do 200 Hindu squats, let alone 500. So I just kept RIPing myself. I just kept killing off the guy who could only do 25 squats. I kept killing off the guy week by week, day by day, month by month. And I literally buried that guy who could barely, do 25 squats, 45 squats. So by being massively consistent, I got, I never focused on massive action. I think massive action it's the death of dreams and goals. I want to be massively consistent. So I just kept showing up and doing the work, Some days I would do 2 or 3 more squats. Some days I'd do 5 more. Some days I couldn't do any more. And I just let time do what time does when you show up every day. Some days you feel like it. Some days you don't feel like it. Some days are victories. Some days are defeats. But every day I just focused on getting 0.001% better. And I did the math on it and I said, over the 90 days, the 3 months, if I keep getting, a little bit better, a little bit stronger, by the time I hit New Year's Eve, I'm going to be able to do 500 Hindu squats. So I gradually got to 200 in my training and then 250. I hit a plateau at 300. Gave myself a few extra days rest, listening to my body. I changed my diet. I started doing some different training other than just Hindu squats. I went back to the gym and I started doing full body workouts. I added some wall sits. I added some squats, some real gym squats. And I started building my entire body strength over the last couple of months. And that helped with the entire Hindu squat. My arms were stronger, my legs were stronger, my shoulders were stronger, my back was stronger. So to make a short story long, we did a Zoom call on New Year's Eve morning at 10 a.m. And Bill and Paul and Leanne and Mark, we banged out 500 Hindu squats live on the Zoom call. And a tip of the hat to Marc-Andre and his 25-year young legs, he actually took on the challenge and did 1,000 Hindu squats. So he banged out 500 before we got on the Zoom call, and then he did a 500 with us. So congratulations to Leanne, to Marc-Andre, to Sir Bill Gaw, Sir Paul Nolte, and I'm damn proud of myself for banging out those 500 Hindu squats to ring in a brand new year. There's just something about that challenge. It gave me a shot. It gave me a shot of adrenaline. It gave me a shot of inspiration. Like, I can feel it. I've felt it for the last 2 days. My legs, legs feed the wolf, right? It's all about the legs. If we lose our legs, we lose our life. I saw that with my dad this year when he picked up that virus in July, and we almost lost him at the age of 89. The first thing the hospital robbed my dad of, being in a bed all day, he lost his legs. Frank the Tank, my dad is a super powerful guy physically, and he lost his legs within a few days. And every day, my brother, my sister, and I would go over. So 3 times a day, 1 time each, and what would we focus on? Getting him out of the hospital bed and getting him outside in nature and sunshine, didn't matter, and walking around outside. And we're the only family doing it, but I just kept saying he can't lose his legs. Legs feed the wolf. And that's why when I think of, killing off the version of Michael today and working to have a better version of myself the next day, walking is number one for me, and it has been for over 20 years. Like, walking to me is physical training, it's mental training, it's emotional training, and if you do it tech-free, it can be spiritual training as well. So just interesting how the legs feed the wolves. So my story about R.I.P, rest in peace, Michael McLean, I really think that that's a massive, massive mindset for you this new year in 2024, is forget the big, audacious goals and dreams that literally scare the hell out of you. And let's focus on one goal at a time. Let's focus on one improvement, one tiny improvement, make it a habit in your life, and then move on to the next tiny improvement. Like, I have 6 or 7 major goals this year, but I'm literally attacking them one at a time. And by doing them one at a time until they do become a habit, it's amazing. I'm literally R.I.P-ing who I am every day. It's not noticeable to the outside person. Nobody's going to notice a transformation in myself. They're not going to notice, because I'm training every day or I'm writing an article every day. People on the outside of your world, they're not going to notice this massive transformation after a week or after a month. But if you commit to these tiny, ridiculous goals, 1 or 2, it's amazing what can happen over the next year. That's how winning is done. Winning is done by R.I.P-ing yourself every day. And it seems like a harsh concept where my job as a father, my job as a husband, my job as an entrepreneur, my job as a community service person is literally to literally kill off who I was yesterday. And there's days where I accomplish this goal through walking, through reading, through writing, through prayer, through going to the gym, through drinking water, and a lot of not drinking alcohol and not eating foods that make me old and tired, things like this. But there's a lot of days where I literally kill off that person and I become 0.001% better. Maybe I'm a tiny bit better, wiser. Maybe I'm a tiny little bit better as a husband. Some days maybe I get tiny little bit better as a father. Some days maybe I serve more people. And then there's days that I don't make any progress at all. But I want to be prolific this year. In January especially, the first 7 days, and then the first 14 days, then the first 21 days, and then the first 30. I just want to be prolific. I just want to put the shoes on every day. I don't really care how far I walk. I just want to put on the shoes like I'm doing now, and I just go for a walk. Sometimes it's half an hour, sometimes it's an hour. There's days, it's just about being prolific. When I sit down to write, I haven't set a goal of, okay, I'm going to write an hour. I've set a goal that I'm going to write every day, 1 article per day. So for that to happen, I just put out my laptop the night before. And then when I get up, I just promise myself I'm going to put my fingers on the keyboard, and I'm going to write. Same with any habits you want to put into your life. Just be prolific in 2024. You don't have to set big, goals. I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to walk for an hour, and I'm going to write for an hour, and I'm going to drink a gallon of water. Just set tiny, ridiculous goals that literally will improve you day after day, week after week, month after month, and you'll transform over the year. Just remember, as human beings, we overestimate what we can accomplish in 1 year, and you underestimate what you can do in 10. So I think it's really important that you focus on, okay, I'm going to accomplish 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major goals this year, and that is a massive badass year. That's building the world of your dreams. A little bit freer, a little bit healthier, a little bit wealthier, a little bit wiser, a little bit more present, a little bit more connected, a little bit more energetic, a little bit more mentally tough. You see where I'm going with this? Massive consistency. You know as well as I do, Quitter's Day for New Year's resolutions. When's Quitter's Day? Quitter's Day is the second Friday in January. Pathetic fucking surrender. I get upset just saying that right now, because here it is, the first few days in January, and everybody's hell bent for election. I was in the gym yesterday, and you could barely get any weights, and I just said to myself, Michael, just be patient. Quitter's Day, 50%. Forbes magazine did a study that Quitter's Day, 50%, and it's more than that. 50% of people that make a New Year's resolution, because they're using willpower, not environment. They're not serious about progressing. They're not serious about being consistent. They're not serious about being prolific. Quitter's Day, within the second Friday, which is 2 weeks into January, the gyms are 50%, empty. The diet, they've given up on the diet. They've given up on the no drinking. I mean, I get a kick out of it now. I just walk away from people that tell me their New Year's resolutions. Well, I'm going to drop some pounds this year. And I'm like, okay, how do you plan to do that? And they have no answer, right? I open up their fridge and I realize that they're not serious. I open up their cupboard and I realize they're not serious. Well, it's going to be a dry January, Michael. It's going to be no alcohol the first month. And I'm like, well, what did you do on New Year's Eve? Well, I drank till 3 a.m. Well, you just negotiate it with the process right there. And then, I'm going to have a few drinks on New Year's. So it's all these big, hairy, audacious goals that just never, ever work. Do this instead, okay? R.I.P. Rest in peace, the version of yourself that's alive today. and make that person, kill off that man, kill off that woman, and just focus on massive consistency. Take that word massive action and just get it, starve it out of your vocabulary. I'm too far along to get excited about massive action. Massive action is quitter's day in 2 weeks. I'm more concerned with massive consistency. And if anybody says to you, if anybody gives you advice and says, oh, well, you know, John or Tom, get what my goal is to get 1% better. There's not a person on fucking earth that can get 1% better every day at anything. Don't let those charlatans and those shovel sellers tell you that. Anybody that says that, I'm going to get 1% better today, that's bullshit. Okay? Take it from a guy that's been a championship hockey coach, championship tennis player, 8-figure and 7-figure business owner. I've been around the best of the best. The best of the best. And there's not one person, whether it's Michael Jordan or whether it's Tom Brady or whether it's Stephen King or whether it was Henry Ford or I don't care who it is. There's not a serious person out there who gets 1% better. So give yourself a break, 1% better. That means that at the end of the year, a person would be 365% better. That's such horseshit. That's called fantasy sold as reality by people that have never won anything. That's how the gurus talk, or the pretend experts, or the wet behind the ears people who've never won anything, and they sell this stuff as reality when it's fantasy. 365% better. Are you kidding me? Physically, health-wise, I want to get 25% better. I want to get 20% stronger. I want to improve my copywriting skills by 5 or 10%. I want to write, maybe. That's my big one this year. I want to increase my content, my writings by 50%. That's going all in. So that means I'm just getting 0.01% better in that area. There's going to be days I don't make any progress. And as far as as a father, I want to get, 5 or 10% better, more present. I want to improve my marriage. But this is my goal is massive consistency. After all the people have quit, the 99% ordinary and average, the quiet desperation, after they've given up in 2 weeks, that's where I just keep chipping away. I think about, killing off, yourself every day and just getting a little bit better in 1 or 2 areas. I think of the old stonecutter's tale, where the old stonecutter's lesson that my friend Dwayne Casey, the former head coach of the Toronto Raptors and the Detroit Pistons, and of course Dwayne Casey was the assistant coach in Dallas with the Mavericks with Mark Cuban when they won their NBA title a decade ago. So he got to hang out with, guys like Cuban and a bunch of NBA champions. And when he came and spoke at my Mastermind in Toronto years ago, he talked about pounding the rock, how that was the goal for his rebuilding the Toronto Raptors. From the worst team, from the team in the NBA that's in the outhouse, a losing toxic culture, into eventually in 2019, they finally won their first NBA championship. But that all started with Dwayne Casey, 7 years of pounding the rock. What the hell does pounding the rock mean? Pounding the rock means that it's the old stonecutter's tale. I used it with my hockey teams. Casey used it with the Raptors. You've heard other coaches use it, where you just every day chip away at that stone. You take that pick, you take that and you just chip away and you pound the rock 1 time, 2 times, 3 times a day. And you keep chipping away, pounding the rock, pounding the rock, pounding the rock. And here's the thing. 99% of people after 2 weeks, quitter's day, what do? Well, they look and they see the stone and they go, well, there's no progress. There's no instant gratification. This stone, this boulder hasn't cracked in two. I'm not winning. And what do? Pathetic surrender. They give up. They fucking well give up. So pounding the rock means massive consistency, not massive action. You don't hit the stone 15 times. You hit it once or twice a day. Once or twice a day. And here's the thing. You hit it 1,000 times. Okay, 1,000 times. Massive consistency. And this is how you separate winners from losers. Champions from chumps. You hit it 1,000 times. The stone doesn't even have a crack in it. It's not even chipped. It's like, wow, I don't even see anything. I haven't lost any weight. I'm not getting more muscular. I'm not making more money. There's no proof. And this is where the trust in the process comes in. You either trust in the process of massive consistency or you don't. If you don't believe in the process, if you don't believe in massive consistency, if you don't believe in pounding the rock, if you don't believe it works, you'll give up. You'll give up like everybody else on Quitter's Day. 2 weeks in, oh, it's not working. Walking isn't for me. This copywriting isn't working. Emailing hasn't been working for me. And you're like the quiet desperation. You just give up. Oh, I can't do 500 Hindu squats. I can't even do 10. And this is the kind of stuff. So the stone cutter, he just keeps chipping away at 1,000 chips. He's like, well, I can barely tell. And then everybody quits and he keeps chipping away, pounding that rock. And then he hits it. Maybe it's the 5,000th time. Still nothing. And more people quit, more people get discouraged, more people want instant quick fix. And then he hits it that 10,000th time, just working in silence, boredom every day, embracing the boredom, embracing the torture. And then boom, he hits it 10,001 times and the stone splits wide open. That is winning. That's not what you're going to hear from your local wet behind the ears guru or some fuzzy-headed academic who's never left campus. You need to pound that rock 500 times. You need to pound that rock 1,000 times. You need to pound that rock 10,000 times. And you need to embrace the boredom. Walking every day is boring. Writing for 15 minutes every day is boring. Reading every day for an hour is boring. Drinking a gallon of water a day is boring. You need to embrace the boring, the torture that then gives you the life of your dreams. Freedom takes boring. You need to embrace boring. To build the world of your dreams, to build a life of personal sovereignty. I have one North Star. Besides my Creator, my personal God, I have one North Star. And my North Star in a new year is personal sovereignty. Every decision I make and every time I use my most complete and favorite sentence in the world, no, N-O, vitamin N, every decision I make is based on what? My North Star. Does this increase my badass personal sovereignty? Does this increase my independence, my control, my autonomy, my freedom? If it doesn't, it's a hell no. It's a hell no. Walking, reading, writing, prayer, journaling, coaching, okay, coaching my daughter in sports, date nights, all of those things, those tiny little daily habits, they pass the North Star test. They increase what? My personal sovereignty. So all of those things every day, those 3 or 4 things that I do every day, massive consistency, they are personal sovereignty, they pass, and they are all a hell yeah. Everything else, and I mean everything else, 99.9% of it is a hell no. My favorite sentence in the world, no, complete sentence, the power of no. N-O. Michael, no. Michael, would you like? No. Michael, here's an opportunity. No. Michael, would you like? No. Because I'm not willing to surrender even an ounce of my personal sovereignty. So when you set your goals this year, make sure that you have your ladder against the right building. Make sure you have your ladder against the right wall, so that when you're building your personal sovereignty, you're actually building what you want. Massive consistency. When you start killing off that person every single day and improving 0.001% in whatever area of your life you're working on, make sure it's what you want. Not somebody else's dreams, not somebody else's goals, yours. And that, my friend, is the goal that I have in 2024. Be prolific, not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We're mistake-making machines. Prolific, not perfect. And progress, not perfection or change. I'm not interested in being perfect or focusing on changing. I'm focused on being prolific, and I'm also focused and dedicated to the process. I believe in the process. I believe in pound the rock. I've decided that these are the 2 or 3 little things I have to do each. That's my stone cutter. Those 3 daily habits that I've set myself up to do every day, that's my pick. That's my pick to pound that rock. And I believe in the process. If I don't see any results after I pound that stone 500 times, I still believe I'll pound it 501. I still see no results at 1,000, even 5,000. I believe in the process. I'm going to be prolific, not perfect. I believe in the process, not perfection. In the process, not change. And I just keep chipping away this year, chipping away, working on 1 or 2 goals at a time. And then at the end of this year, in 2025, when everybody else is given up after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, whatever it is, I will have R.I.P'd Michael McLean. I will have R.I.P'd myself as a husband, as a father, as an entrepreneur, and as a community service leader. And I will have done it 1 day at a time, 0.001%, and by literally pounding the rock. That's the goal, to R.I.P. yourself every single day. It's not going to happen every day, but get up, put your feet on the floor, say your gratitude prayer, and get after it. I'm going to improve 1 area of my life today, 2 areas of my life today, a tiny, tiny little bit. And I'll tell you right now, you stack those wins. 200 wins, 300 wins, 400 wins, pounding the rock. If you want to set 1 goal for yourself this year, make it massive consistency. Massive consistency. When you don't feel like it, show up. When you don't want to do it, show up. When you're not getting the results you think you deserve, show up. When you're tired, show up. When you're feeling great, show up. When nobody else wants to do the work or people are telling you to cool out and relax, show up. Massive consistency 2024. I'm happy to report that I indeed did kill off the old Michael McLean in 2023, but now it's time for me to get back to work, chasing the 1 or 2 things I'm going to be chasing for the next few months here until they become habits. And every day I'm just going to get up and I'm going to R.I.P. the old Michael McLean. The old Michael McLean. When I say my prayer at the end of the day and I do my gratitude ritual with my wife Krista before we turn off the lights, before I give my subconscious something to work on while I sleep, when I close my eyes, that man is gone. That man is gone. And I'm going to keep that mindset until actually that man will be gone. That's my ultimate personal sovereignty target is every day just a tiny little bit better. And when I put my head down on that pillow, that man is gone for good. And when I wake up and I put my feet on the floor and I thank my Creator, my God, for another day opportunity, greatest time to be alive, 2024. I'm surrounded by wealth. I'm surrounded by abundance. I'm surrounded by opportunity like never in history. Nobody's had opportunities like we have in today's world. I put my feet on the floor. I say a prayer of gratitude, and then I get after it, making sure that I build up a new person that day. That old McLean, R.I.P the day before. Let's see if I can make this version a tiny, tiny little bit better than the version that went to bed the night before. If you're interested in working with me privately this year, there's only one way you can do it. I'm having one mastermind this year. The link is below. It's expensive on purpose. I want to work with 5 maximum elite entrepreneurs and fathers and grandfathers. And who is it for? Who is my BadAzz Kings Mastermind for this year? It's for any elite, driven, or generous man that wants more. You want more wealth, you want more health, you want more time, you want more energy, you want a better relationship, you want more connection, you want whatever you want. If you want more, that's what my BadAzz Kings Mastermind is about. The link is below. You have to apply. When you apply, I'll look over your application. If I think I'm the right coach for you, if I think you're a good fit, then the second step, we'll talk on the phone for a few minutes to make sure that I am indeed the right coach. In a lot of cases, I'm not. And that you are somebody that I want to work with this year. It's badazzkings.com, and the link is below. If you want more, whatever it is you want, get around people that have more, know how to get more, and continue to R.I.P. Hey, you want to R.I.P. yourself this year? How's that really going to happen if you don't have coaching and accountability? I know personally it's never worked for me not being part of masterminds. I ended up phoning it in or mailing it in. I ended up not showing up as the best version of myself. So I've been committed to masterminds now for 15 years. So the link is below. If you're going to R.I.P. who you are every single day, and you're going to work towards massive consistency, it won't happen without coaching, and it won't happen without accountability and association. I'll leave you with that amazing quote that I read over Christmas time. Hang out with 5 millionaires. Don't be surprised when you become the 6th. Be brave, be bold, be relentless.